Voch Rabbi Sai. It's a late Motzi Shabbos, one of the latest. Mamish, like maybe it gets 1 minute later. Very difficult because, especially a night like tonight, I had maybe 30 different pictures I wanted to do, and only like 45 minutes. It's a problem, but I see that the Olam, it's late for the Olam. Nobody slept enough, and you guys made it from Yerushalayim. Oh, he made it all the way from Yerushalayim. Where are the people from Ramat Bet Shemesh? You got like 2 empty tables here. It's crazy. Huh? I'm going to read the second line. Remind me to read the first line tomorrow morning because I see Noam fix his name, so I want to read it while he's here. Shmuel Eidler for Amudim, Rabbi Isai. All the Amudim sold out. 245 Amudim sold out at 720 each. Maybe people are going to want to do shutfas. Wow. Shmuel Eidler, Steve Middleman, Stephen Bax, Stephen Seychelles, Tuvia Eisenman, Warren Kimmel, Yankee Leibowitz, Yeshua Abraham, Yishkoyach, everybody, Yehuda Danos. You could help me pronounce it over here. Not that. Danos, that's how you pronounce it. Yisachar Rothbaum, Yitzchak Klein, Yitzi and Temi Lowy, Yitzi Friedman, Yitzi Hollander, that I know. Yoel and Hindi Jacobs, Yoeli Freund, Yanon Adler, Yoni, I don't see, Yohanan Adler, Yoni Pollack, Yosef Mishani, Mashu Kazeh, Yosef Mordechai, Greenberg. Is that Yosef Mordechai Greenberg, or that's 2 different names? Yosef Moshe Lofler, Yossi Schechter, Yuri Friedman, Zalman Kravitz, Zev Belsky. Oh, hello Zev. Cheermaker.com. All right, so tomorrow hopefully they don't change it around. Somebody sent me this picture. I actually found this picture between my pictures. This is the line I was talking about in the airport in Africa. You can see the size of his claws, of his hand. Dear Belly, we're learning about Mitzvah in school with Rabbi Pick at CTA in Philadelphia. He drives in from Lakewood and listens to the shir on the way. We're learning the sugi of how long you need to announce the lost object according to Rabbi Yehuda. We learn the story of Choni HaMagel and watch the shrim about it in Titus and Bava Metzia. Before AI existed, our Rebbe said that our whole class should write you a thank you, so you will at least read one of them. From Morty Schwartz and Ephraim Ashkenazi. Okay, I read one. Yishkoyach. You have a great Rebbe who watches the right shir, is not embarrassed to tell you about it. Yeshua Goldmunzer. See attached picture of a local shir in Stamford Hill, London, square-based medrash with Maggid shir of Moshe David Mutzin, or as we call him, MDM. Without the pictures, these lectures wouldn't survive. That's what he says. I don't know if that's true, but okay, there's a lot of pictures. Many things. Keep it up. MDM. Moshe David Mutzin, MDM. MDY, MDM. Shalom uvracha. My name is Rabbi Yoni Yeshua, and I'm in the incoming Rosh Yeshiva Or David in Yerushalayim. I'm reaching out because I'm deeply impressed by MDY's ability to bring clarity and chiyus into Torah learning. Your high-quality visual tools, illustrations, and diagrams are exceptional at helping learners follow the sugya and retain their learning. At our David, we're building a growth-oriented yeshiva. We're serious about the learning and benefit from a more structured and supported approach. We believe in the wise visual approach can have a meaningful impact on our B'kiyah Seder, which is the key component of our broader mahalach and immersive Torah study. Would MDY consider a small pilot collaboration with us? Today we're requesting permission to use selected MDY illustrations. Yes, we allow all yeshivas to use our stuff as long as they give us credit for it. We're here to spread Torah, so we don't take money for it. And yes, you could use it, such as the hand that shares slides. We ensure here, I just showed a video, MDM uses our stuff. We'd ensure clear attribution, follow all of your guidance, and limit the scope to whatever MDM feels appropriate. We'd also welcome opportunities to show Prabhat Karsatay Vishkoyach. If you're open to discussing the possibility, grateful photo. Rabbi Yoni, Yeshua, Rosh Yeshiva, or David Atzlocha. Rabbi Side, official edition, MDY Shots, Mesechtas by Zev and Yal Shulov, Perik, Ilan, and Miri Davidovici. Davidovich. What's his wife's name? Mary? Lilish Mosishai ben Aaron and Yocheved Chava Itl Bas Avraham. Daf Mem Dalet, Akiva Kraus, in celebration of our children's Menachem and Chaya's wedding on Rish Chodesh Nisan. May they be zoicha to build a bayis nemon b'Yisrael. That already happened, I'm assuming. Mazel Tov. David Solomon, dedicated in memory of Avi Moiri, Reb Shmuel, Baruch, Ben Reb Chaim Tzvi, Doiv, Zechron Levracha. The Masechta sponsored by the Apologetic Foundation. In gratitude to the consortium and alliance in all they do to support MDY. Anonymous, Hatzloch Baruch Nesiv Gashmias. Thank you to Chief Benny, Shmuel and Ahuva Schuster for continued Hatzlocha and Nachas from our children. Anonymous, for complete refuah shlema and arichas yom to Leah Bas Esther Amein, Binyamin and Daniel Rosenfeld, Brios Vis Simcha. Ari Simon, monthly sponsor refuah shlema Avi Moyer Baruch Ben Miriam. Anonymous, refuah shlema for your Rabbi Ruchem Ben Yudis and Avram Yishaya Ben Zlavo Dvaira Amein. The Spanish Shrir sponsors in honor of the first three Bochum in the Mexican satellite location, Shmuel Yudah Abramchik, Moshe Leniado, and Inon Greenberg, 15 and 16 years old. Reuven Klein, in memory of Sarah Ratz of Bas Baba Peril on the yard site, Chof Zayin Sivan. Peretz Chaim Levin and Shimi Leifman, in honor of our 1,800th daf. Thank you, Rebelli, and all the MDY staff for giving us life. Peretz Chaim Levin and Shimi Leifman, both tremendous pillars of our shir. Mazel Tov, 1,800 daf. It's incredible. Zev Sandman, for the immediate refuah shlema of my father Yosef Tzvi ben Bela Amein. Rafi and Dovi Glanstein, for the merit and complete refuah shlema for our Bubby Dvora Leah Bas Henna. Hinda Kelo Simon, happy birthday Tati, may be zoicha to complete many more cycles of Daf Yomi. Amein. Anonymous, for the special occasion of Ruth Berman's 70th birthday. Mazel Tov. MDY Kids sponsors monthly. Innovations LLC Chus Vakiv Simcha Befega. Every day Bas Yafa Chayo. And the Art, for Shlema Yon, Tanaitim Bishava Brocha, for Shlema Mordechai Ben Esther. What happened? Any news with him? He's in the hospital. They canceled the Friday kumsitz with him. The first Hayel Daniel Zev Ben Ayelet Esther. Rabbi Isai, here we go. So, again, it was tonight. Put this together in seconds. So, according to Rav, Machlokes Rav and Shmuel, with the tarbets, what is it called? Turbets haveshet. Turbets haveshet. This is the veshet. This is the eating tube. The very end of it, the one closest to the mouth, is the turbets haveshet. When you puncture it, now this whole entire tube, when you put a little tiny needle hole in it, it's a goner, it's a treifa. But what about the turbets haveshet all the way in the top? Turbets haveshet, closest to the tongue. So we have a machlokes. Rav says, mashu, even a needle, it's like the rest. And Shmuel says, no, you need to cut 51% of the circumference. Rav says, we understand now. Rav says, mashu, why? Because the very top part by the tongue is a makim shchita. And Shmuel says it's not a makim shchita. Since it's not a makim shchita, it's nothing. It has nothing to do with the veshet. It's not a veshet. It's not an esophagus. What is it? It's another part of the animal. Another part of the animal. You need more damage. If it's the esophagus, it's the eating tube. Even a small amount, says Shmuel. But it's not the esophagus. It's not the eating tube. Rav says even a mashu. So we're going to see a little bit Now, says the Gemara story, Mamish Agadata. We are going to have a little bit of Agadata today, but here's an Agadata. There was an ox. That's the end of the story. Oh, so for that, I must pull out my trusted knife. This is a small one. We got to start using the larger one. If you ever notice, he's not here, so I could talk about it. But when I pull this knife out, Nachman Seltzer takes like 3 steps back and picks up. He goes into it and he pulls his Gemara above his face. It's like, as if that's going to help him from this knife. If it slips, it slips. You know what I'm saying?
I don't care, yeah.
How many hours?
A week.
That's it.
A week in a day.
A week in a day. So that's it. You're done. You're done. You don't have cravings anymore. They what? It's easier? MS?
Shabbos is nicer.
It's nicer. You're starting to breathe like a mensch. You could cancel that CT scan. You took it already?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll talk about it later. They started the shchita all the way over here by the turbas aveshet. And then he went inwards. They started cutting, and they cut into the actual veshet. So what's the halacha? Now, if we take a look at this chart, according to Rav, if you nick it a little bit, the turbas aveshet, which he just did because he cut it, that's more than a little bit, it's a problem. It's treif, but it's not a problem because it's makam shchita. This is where you shecht. So what's the problem? So you start cutting. You started at the right place and you ended at the right place. So according to Rav, it's not a problem. According to Shmuel, that the turbas aveshet is not really a place to shecht. So he started a little tiny bit, gave a little nick. He forgot about that. He started cutting downwards, and he did a great shchita. Also not a problem. Why? It's only a problem when Shalom Aleichem, Voch, when you cut a roiv. When he cut, he didn't do a roiv. He cut a little tiny bit. So according to both of them, that should be great. The Gemara shockingly says it's not good. Why? Omar Rava. Ramina alei chumrei de Rav v'chumrei de Shmuel v'tarifna lei. Take a look at the chart for a second. This is Motzei Shabbos stuff. I'm going to take a little bit of Rav and a little bit of Shmuel. I'm going to mix it all together. I'm going to come out with a chumrah, with a treif. That what? He shechted a little tiny bit of the turbas aveshet. A tiny bit is only a problem if it's the makam hashchita. So I'm going to go and use Shmuel and say it's not the makam hashchita. And he did a little tiny bit in not of a makam hashchita. Poops, treif. If you say that a mashu is a concern by turbas aveshet, so go be consistent and say, who says a mashu is a problem? Rav. And Rav says it's a good place of a shchita, and I'm doing a shchita. I'm in the middle of killing this animal, shchita. So I started turbas aveshet. I finished not a turbas aveshet. It's all makam hashchita. It's a great shchita. No. I'm going to go like Shmuel. But Shmuel says that you need a roiv. You need to cut 51%, and he didn't cut 51%. He cut 1%. So I'm not using Shmuel's roiv. I'm going to use Rav's roiv. But I'm going to use Shmuel, that Shmuel says that the turbas aveshet is not part of the shchita. And I'm going to use Rav and says, but if you do a little tiny bit and not a makam hashchita, it's possible. Mamish a strange halacha. Chumre de Rav, do Rav mashu. I'm going to go with Rav. He says a mashu. Do Rav mashu. V'omer Rav, but it's a problem. If you're going to go with Rav, be consistent. Rav says makam hashchita, and it's great. You could start a shchita over there. No. Then I'm going to go to Shmuel. I'm going to move over to the left lane and I say the Omer Lav makam hashchita. It's not the makam hashchita. Shmuel, but if you say it's Shmuel, Amar Beruba, be consistent. Shmuel says you need a roiv, and he didn't do a roiv. He only cut a little bit of the turbas aveshet. For that, I'm going to go Kirav, Domam B'Mashu. Very, very serious halacha here. And obviously, just like we don't understand it, in that generation they didn't understand it. Igaga Milsa, this thing rolled around. It came to Rebbe. Amalu, Torah, Bein L'Rav, Bein L'Shmuel Shari. If you take Rav all the way, it's 100% good because he did a little tiny shchita and a makam shchita. If it goes in Shmuel, he didn't do roiv. You're right, it's not a makam shchita, but he didn't do roiv. So this animal is kosher. Zilu Amar Lele Brei Rav Yosef Bar Chama. He didn't want to call him by his first name. He was too scared, so he called him the son of Rav Yosef Bar Chama, which means, who's the son of Rav Yosef Bar Chama? The famous Rava. Tell him he must pay because he said such a silly halacha. He has to pay for it. Says Rashi, the only way a Rav has to pay for it is if he caused the damage with his own hands. If he paskined and you went ahead and listened to him, you don't have to pay. So it must be that Rava took this animal. He saw that the kvetching. They're saying, "What are you? Either Rav or Shmuel decide." No, so he took the animal and he gave it to the dogs. Gave it to the dogs. You have to pay for it. I have a big question to the enemies of Rava. Again, he was scared to say Rava's name. Why? He's about to embarrass Rava. He's about to call him a fool. Now, you don't call Rava a fool. So instead of saying Rava, you say the enemies of Rava are fools. Guess what? After all this, Rava was right. Just letting you know, he was right. I did notice, I don't know if I'm right, I asked my Chavrusa, he didn't argue with me. He said, many times you see that Rava made mistakes in Shas, more than other people. Mistakes, he regretted it, he took it back. He says, I forgot the Lashon, like, Lav Milsi, da Amri, I made a mistake. You know, so over here it seems like he made a mistake. So he told me, because Rav has mentioned so much, he said so many things, okay. You got to say a lot. When you say stuff in public, a certain percentage is going to be a problem. You don't see it so much with other people. Rav Yehuda, whatever. Okay. Zog the Gemara.
Still a good batting average. He has a lot of time, so it's a high percentage.
Yeah, that's what he said. But I don't know if that's. We have to ask a fencer. We'll see what happens. It goes like, it says in the Bryce like this. The halacha is always it's always the halacha like Bisil. However, if you want to do like Bishamai, you're okay. Whatever you want to do, you can do. I think Gemara is going to ask, it's a contradiction. You tell me that halacha is like Bisil, and then you tell me you can do like Bishamai. Now listen to this. Russia. If you just pick all the kulas, I told the guy, I had an argument with somebody that I'm very close to. I said, I don't understand. Every time he has a kula, there's no amir la'akum when it comes to electric stuff, to electric cars. It's only electric. Then there's a kula about this, a kula about that. He says, yeah, but my Rebbe told me this, and he said it's okay. I said, I never heard you once saying a chumrah. It's always a kula. If you once in a while you had a good chumrah, geshmak, okay, fine. You mix it in once in a while. Every time I speak to you, you have another kula and another kula, another kula. Hey, you take the kula of Bishamai, the kula of Beisilel, you're Russia. Mechumer Beishamai or Mechumer Beisilel, if you're such a big machwa, the knife, you don't want it here. We might need it still. Let's put it over here. Fine. It's making you nervous. Also, another guy. Mechumer Beishamai, Mechumer Beisilel. If you're machmir, like Bishamai always, and a big machmir, you're big tzaddik machmir like Beisilel. All of Akasav Omer Haksil B'chosh Choylech. The fool goes in the dark. There's a guy, a big tzaddik, wasn't working much, saying a lot of Tillim all day. His wife said, "We're going to have parnasa." He says, "Listen, light a candle, and dude, will be okay." Kids said, "No, did you make not today?" So light a candle for the Baba Sali. Every day it's another gadol. One day he comes in and he sees a lot of candles. He says, "Oh, you finally got it. You finally, Baruch Hashem, you're chapping the cheshbon." She says, no. They finally turned off the electric here. Haksil, the shaita b'chosh choylech. The fool goes in the dark. But I love this ma'aseh. This is a ma'aseh shahaya. It's a ma'aseh shiyach aliyos. In Koil Chazanish, there's a big argument in a sugya. They were going through the sugya. And they came out that you have to pass in the kula. So the guys, we got to do it again. So they do it again, and they get heart of it. Comes out the kula. Then the nachamal, third time, like, what are we going to do? So one guy gives a clap on the beam and says, "Listen, this is a kula she'ein hatzibur yichol lalamid ba." Mardik, no? It's a mardik. Those who know. Zog the Gemara. Elo. Iki Beishamai b'kikuleim u'kichumreim. Iki B'Hillel kikuleim u'kichumreim. either you have to be consistent. Either go with Beis Shammai all the way, or you go like Beis Hillel all the way. So it's not as simple as it sounds like. I'm not crazy about this chart that we did on Friday. I added a couple of things tonight in a rush. But Rashi points out, it goes like this. In a certain area, you can't grab Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel. No, in Kriya Shema, you can grab Beis Shammai, and in Hilchas Treifa, you can grab Beis Hillel. In Hilchas Treifa, in Hilchas Spine, you can't grab a Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel in the same halacha, for instance. So just to make it easier, don't look at Beis Hillel at all. Just look at Beis Shammai. We had this halacha. When a spine of an animal is missing 2 vertebrae, say Beis Shammai, then it's a treifa. Meaning, what if it's 1.5 vertebrae? It's not a treifa. So is that a kula or chumrah? It's a kula. The animals, you're allowed to eat the animal all the way until it's missing 2 vertebrae. So 2 is a kula. If you take that same 2 and use it on a human being's spine, say a spine of a human is matama ba'ayel, like the skull of a human being. If it's in a room, just the skull, the whole room is tamei. Everybody in the room is tamei. So if you have a vertebrae of a human being, it's tamei. And if you're missing 2, then it's not matama. So that's already a chumrah. Why? Because up until 2, it's matama. 1 is matama, 1.5 is matama, 1 3/4 is matama. That's a tremendous chumrah all the way to 2. Beis Hillel say no, you don't need 2. What? So you can't grab and say, you know what? When it comes to an animal, eating an animal, I'm going to go like Beis Shammai, that you need 2 vertebrae to make a treifa. 1.5 vertebrae is gewaldig, so I'm going to use that kula. And when it comes to tumas oyel, I'm going to go with Beis Hillel, left bottom corner. I'm going to say that it's not mitama once you have 1 vertebrae missing. That's not fair, because the point is 2 vertebrae makes a chesar and doesn't make a chesar. So that's what we're saying, that you cannot grab a kula Beis Shammai and a chumrah of Beis Hillel in different things. Okay, anyway. Or different Beis Hillel and different things. Kula and kula. Zog the Gemara. Hogu for kasha. So now we're just going back. You told me that Allah is always like Beis Hillel. We all know, everybody knows, every kid in Cheder knows, we pass like Beis Hillel. And then you tell me, if you feel like going like Beis Shammai, it's okay. Like kasha. There was a baskel that came from Shemayim and said, that but the Allah is like Beis Hillel. So, before the baskel, you could pick and choose. You could say, I want to go like Beis Shammai today. Tomorrow you say, I want to go like Beis Hillel. But once the baskel came and said that Allah is like Beis Hillel, we go like Beis Hillel. Viva Yisema. Fla'achar baskel. Even after the baskel, Rabbi Shua, he goes like Rabbi Shua. So, the famous story. I'll just show it to you real quickly here. We have the machlokes of the Tanur Shlach Hanoi. It's made out of this oven. There was a big machlokes, and Rebbe Eliezer passing one way, and everything went Rebbe Eliezer's way. And even the carob tree was uprooted. The walls of the Beis Medrash. The river went backwards. Here, the river's going backwards here. They said, if that long was like Rebbe Eliezer, the wall should cave. They caved in. Everything went his way. And finally, they said, we don't care about walls, we don't care about water, we don't care. The Rav says against Rebbe Eliezer. So finally, Baskel said, a heavenly voice comes from Shemayim and says, the halach is like Rebbe Eliezer. A mashgichim Baskel. It's a very sad story because Rebbe Eliezer is a shamuti, they put him in Cherem. Even though everything, I mean, I can't imagine something like that today. That the Gadol Adar, you hear a Baskel says the halach is like him, and the walls, the moifsim, all the moifsim go like him. No. Put him in Cherem. Can't talk to the person. Until he died. To the day he died, he was in Cherem. Crazy story. But I'll call upon him, we don't go with the Baskel. So, since we don't go like a Baskel, who said that halach is like Beis Hillel? The Baskel said, we don't care about a Baskel. So you can pick and choose. You can pick and choose. Beis Shammai, Beis Hillel. Mikol Mogim Kashi. But the problem is, how in the world does Rava do this? This is not fair. This is grabbing a little bit of Rav, grabbing a little bit of Shmuel, and making a mix and coming up with halacha. Says the Gemara, Omer Rav Tavus, Kula Kurav Avdo. The entire thing is Rav. You learned it wrong. It's not the pshat that the reason why Rav says that a little bit of a nick at the top of the Turbas HaVeshet is a problem. Not because it's a Mokim Shchita. Because it's not a Mokim Shchita and it's still a problem. That's the Nakuda here. Don't listen to my brother. I think in all of Shas, I think he's brought down the most. That's what I once heard. Don't take it for, but it could be that Rav Yehuda is the most in all of Shas. He always brings down from Rav and all Shmuel. He's brought down the most in Shas. I'll call upon him. Don't listen to him. He made a mistake. This is what Rav in fact said, his Rebbe. They're not dependent. Until now we were learning that because the Turbas HaVeshes, you can put a little needle and make it treif. It must be, it's the Mokim Shchita. It's like the rest of the Veshet. No. It's not a Mokim Shchita. He agrees, Rav agrees it's not a Mokim Shchita. And yet, it becomes treif with the Mashu. And that's why Rav has said that if you start the Shchita up here, let me get my knife. If you start the Shechita up here and you go down, he says that's treif. Why? Because it's not a Makom Shechita, and a Mashu treifs it. So that's why it's treif. Nothing to do with Shmuel. He didn't jump on two chasanas. It's one chasana called Rav. It's a Mashu, and it's not a Makom Shechita. L'malad kamo. So now that we have this eating pipe, where can you go until? Where can you shecht? How much? Says the Gemara, you grab it like this, so you could only shecht right over here. Oh, I did it on purpose. You could shecht from this down, but not from here on. You got to grab, a hand grab. Lamatat kamo. Now, the part that's next to the lungs, or not the lungs, the stomach, the stomach. Oh, Moira took a picture here that Yoshi put together. Gewaldige stuff. Really, it's phenomenal. Oh, hold on. I think I could show this one? Let me show this one. I think so. This is okay?
יש פה בעיה. תגידו, רבותיי משגיחים, זו טרפה? שקט, 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 חמוד, הכל בסדר. נחפש בגוגל עד שנמצא שיטה שזה בסדר. דרכי הדרכי נועם, אני תמיד אומר קשר, 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 הבשר קשר. שטויות אסור, אסור, תראה שנהיה אסור. ויש אפילו שיטה שלא זוכר שזה אסור. זה אסור, אתה פסול, והבשר דמה. יש לך גם טלפון, צא מכאן, תצא. חמוד אתה רשע, אתה סתם כסיל גדול. אל תחפש רק כולה, אל תחפש לפסול. בקיצור, הלכתי לאכול.
Okay, so I don't think Multi-Belsky understood a word. It doesn't have the... But you'll explain it to him. But you got it?
I just heard it say Asur.
And what about kosher? No? You didn't get it. Okay, Ashiyasir, check this out. Ashiyasir is very gishmak. In the animal, look at this. It has like hairs, sort of like hairs. These help digest the food. So you're allowed to do shchita up until where it becomes hairy. All this. What are they called? Follicles. Really? Follicles. Okay. Hair is also called a follicle in a way.
Oh, I don't know what those are called.
They look at follicles. Anyways, you can do shchita on that entire pipe, the eating tube, the esophagus, up until where you see here. Says the Gemara, Eini, V'amar Rabbeinu Omer Gniva B'Shmei Derav, Tefach B'Aveshet Tzomach L'Kares, Zeo Kares V'Nimi. It's not true. You get a whole tefach from where you see the hair, that way, and you can't do shchita there. It's called keres apnimi, the inner keres. And inner keres we learned, by the way, in the Mishnah, even b'mashahu, it makes it the treif. So you can't shechter. So when you're shechting, you see that esophagus that goes into the stomach, you're not allowed to shecht there. It's not part of the esophagus. It's called the keres. It's called a stomach. Keres means the stomach. There's 4 stomachs. Number 1 is called the keres. Number 2 is called what? You guys remember? Basic kaisis. Number 3, hemsis. Number 4, keva. If I'm telling you it's keres, then it's not esophagus. What am I shechting there? So you have to say, says the Gemara, ema tefach bikares, not kares with the sof. The keres, somach leveshet, zo keres apnimi. The first tefach inside with the follicles, with those hairs, that first tefach, that's the keres apnimi. After that, what is it called? Keres achitzoin. The nafkamina is how much of a hole do you need? The first tefach from the esophagus in is called keres apnimi. One tiny hole that trapes it up. The rest of it you need like a roiv. Another pshat is kiko amarav b'toyer. He was talking about a bull. The masir tfei. Look at this beautiful picture. How about this? Great here. Oh, the tefach. You're right. It's a tefach of the esophagus, and the reason why it's treif is because it's not. It looks like an esophagus, but it actually starts acting like a stomach, and it has hair in there. But we talk, that's only in a bull, not in a smaller animal. Let's see if I think we have a picture here. We didn't have it on. Oh, here. Right? So you see how this pipe is connected to the back of the mouth. Now it's disconnected over there. To the jaw, disconnected. It's kosher. And we in fact learn nita lechia tachtoin kosher. If the bottom jaw was removed, kosher. Even though, you see from here, even though the bottom jaw is disconnected in this picture. What does that mean when it's disconnected? It disconnects with the 2 pipes. So you see it's okay if they're disconnected. Ask Rav Papa the obvious question. One of the problems in one of the treifas is when the 2 simanim, the trachea and the esophagus are disconnected. It's disconnected. It should be treif. Well, Rav Papa Kashim Asnisin, how's Rav Papa going to answer? Nita lechi atachton kosher. If the bottom jaw is removed, it's kosher. Rav Papa says you have ikir simonim. So no. When it's completely disconnected, that's treif. Hodi igum igume. But when the 2 pipes are connected to the meat. They're connected. They're not dislodged. It's the jaw that got disconnected. Then it's okay. How could Shmuel say that if the turbas haveshet got disconnected, that it's kosher? Turbas haveshet is the end of the esophagus, the eating tube, and it's disconnected. It should have ikur simonim. Says not the entire thing got disconnected. 51%. So because it has 49% left, it's kosher. But wait a minute, we learned that if the simonim, even a roiv, even 51%, you just told me it's 51%, that's why it's kosher. But he just said that if the simonim are like hanging, and most of it got disconnected, is treif. One like mashal comes to mind. Like sometimes you have a sticker on a product. If you rip it off real quickly, what's going to happen? It leaves a lot of like streaks and stuff. If you you peel it really nicely and slowly, you get the entire thing off. You have a dish right before you go. You want to be toiling in the mikvah. It's causing chatzitza. If you don't have patience, you're going to leave like 3 little lines, and then with your nail, it's a whole problem. Right? Here, let's do this. Exactly. Watch, it's gonna go like this.
Leaves the residue.
Oh, see, I left that. A little bit of residue, a little of this. That's what he's saying. Now, when you rip it like that, you shkoyach. You need it. Then you do it slowly. It's different. When you do it slowly, nicely, nothing will be left there. Hasam, the paragi bruke, when you have a little bit left, so that's not going to regrow. It's not going to heal. It's little tiny pieces that are not going to heal. Oh, when you have a gargeres, this is the trachea. When it's split a little bit like this, it's treif. When you have a roiv. Tano, kam psukas gargeres, beruba, most of it. V'kam beruba. Rav Omar, Roiv. In the art scroll, this is scary. these two words, full page. I'm not sure why. Roiv Avya, V'amrila, Roiv Chalala. Take a look, very, very gewaldige pictures. We'll explain it all. The rings are not evenly made. The top part of the ring are very thick. They're not symmetric. Good, I like that word. They're not symmetric. Top very thick, like you see in this picture. Bottom very thin. So if you were to measure from the top to the bottom and come up with a middle point, it's going to be like the right picture. But, Oh, show the Rabbi Weiss's picture for a second. Here's the real thing. And here's a knife going down the middle. The top part is thicker. We exaggerated it a little bit, yeah, just to make the thing. The top part has a thickness. The bottom is very thin. Okay, now that you see that, basically it's very, very simple. Do you measure the donut hole? Do you just measure the hole? That's the left side. If you're going to measure the hole, 50% of the donut hole, right? If you get the knife gets up to there, but the problem is the donut hole is lower down. The 50% of the donut hole is really 60% from if you start from the top, because the top is very thick. So that's the whole idea. Are we starting from the top, and then 51% is going to be the right picture, or we start from the donut hole, just the empty part, and then you go from there 51%. So for that, there's a whole picture and the whole thing in the article. I don't know exactly. Maybe there's a whole thing. Fine. Sponsors. Turn to the Daf at our global specialists in international financial services by Chaim Milrad, Etel Bas, The reason why I'm going fast is because I don't want to be tired. The Tircha de Tzibura of the Israelis. Ahi psukas hagerges asoy l'kamei derav. So, you had a situation where they found an animal like this. That's how he came. He was born like that. He had a problem. Yosef kabodeglo beroiv avya. So he checked it out to see. He started measuring from the top. What was going on here? You yourself taught us. You start from just the whole donut hole. So they sent to know the Rav. Rabbi Barbachana, he checked it out actually from the donut hole, and he said, this is great, it's kosher. And Rabbi Barbachana himself, this is a problem. The rabbi himself, who gave a hechsher to this meat, bought meat from that guy. This is a problematic piece of meat. Rav started checking from the top, and it would have came out really bad. Links, what are you doing here? Every time you come, you give me this, then you stop coming, and then it's like a roller coaster with you. From the first guys of the Daf, back in Chaniche, what?
8 years already.
8 years, and you're going to tell me you do it every day. I'm going to fire you on some of the jokes to see. But it's great to see you.
I think they skipped out in just Chazar.
Huh?
I think they skipped out in just the Chazar.
Ah, you do just Chazar, so I can't fire you. I got it. Nice. But anybody want to say hello? You're new here? Sort of? You're new, Shalom. What's your name?
Chaim Fleischman.
From? Lakewood. Shalom Aleichem. You're in yeshiva here? Mir Yerushalayim. And who's this tzaddik next to you? What's his name? He's not. Huh? Campton. Shalom Aleichem, Rabbi Campton. Okay. Who else? Anybody else want to say hello? Gornisht? Okay, fine. He's new. What's your name? First of all, what's your name? The guy that said he's new. I know. I said with your father. But what about, so that's your brother next to you? Yeah. What's his name? Moshe. Shalom Aleichem Moshe. Givaldik. Everybody's helping their friends and their brothers. It's great. Captain, you're not the only one.
This is Eitan G.
Eitan G. How's it? You still doing Shnai Mikra, Eitan?
I am.
No, it got easier?
It's going. It's good. It's
you
fun.
do it with Uncle Ungelos?
Uncle Louis. Exactly.
Yeah.
Of course.
Very good. Zog Gemara. We only have 4 minutes. We'll schmooze later. So listen to this. If a chacham says this is tamei chaver shalatar, you're not allowed to go against your friend. Osar, if he says also chaver shalatar, you're not allowed to be matter. Says the Gemara, Shani Yocha. The Rav lo Osar Meisa. Rav himself never said it's Osar. He checked it. He started checking. His Talmidim started giving him a hard time. So he said, go give it to another Rav. He didn't say it's Osar. Ask the Gemara, the famous Maisa, I'm not going to go over it again. My father told me to ask from Nizim Karelitz, is this a Oif Shahir B'Chacham? There's a problem to eat from, and my father told me, only if he tells you that it's okay, ask him, Oif Shahir B'Chacham. There's a problem to eat, it's not lechatchila to eat meat that a Chacham said it's okay. So it goes, certain Achsherim won't sell that kind of meat, they give it to the other Achsher. Voksiv says, V'oimar, we had this already. This whole sugi is a freebie. Yecheskel says, Hashem, Hashem Elikim. Hashem told him to lay on his right side with a brick, the whole thing for a whole year, to pretend it's the Beis Hamikdash, the Churban Habayis. And he says, he tells the Rebbeinu Shalom, Hini nafshi lo mitumah. I never became Tamei. So you have to understand what's the big deal. He was a Kayin. Of course he didn't become Tamei. This is a bigger question. Unevelu treva lo yechalti. I'm such a tzaddik, I didn't eat nevelu treva. How could he say something like that? Every year today could say that. Even when I was a young kid, till today, I never ate a nevela. Who's going to eat pigol? It's a mamish isakaris. So we have to explain like this. So Taisus over there explains already. I didn't think, the Gemara says, I didn't think during the day not to come to Tumah to carry at night. But Taisus says, a lot of people are nizarnit, but not everybody was successful like Yecheskel. Yecheskel was successful. He's never Tamei B'layla. There's a video I'm not going to show because we're going to up our level. So some videos we won't show. There's a very, very good video in the second share. I don't know what to do. I liked it a lot. It was very funny. But the last word, we have to if they can fix it, I have to find out if they can fix it or not. Otherwise, I'll show it after this year. I'll go upon it. I didn't need an animal that they said to the shechet, shecht it right away, it's about to die. So that was the Gemara then. That's why we brought this whole story then. It's a problem, not a problem. You see that it's a problem. But this one, I never ate, that's when I said the story then of the chicken, I never ate from a piece of meat that a chacham ate from, that a chacham looked at and said, a psak halacha that it's okay to eat. Mishum Reb Nasan Chacham Shayir Bayof. Mishum Reb Nasan Amro Shlechadim Mehem Shlehumah Matiseh. Another pshat is they didn't eat from an animal that they didn't give the matis kuna. Even though he himself was a kohen, he was makbet to give matis kuna. Says Gemara. Okay, so the question is, so how did Rav Chana eat this meat? Chacham says Gemara. Ani milim milsa t'ayv svara. Rav Chana Agmar Samach. What's the problem with Oishor B'Chacham? Oishor B'Chacham, the problem is that he's relying on his own logic. And tomorrow we're going to find out that his logic is flawed. So it comes out that he ate treif. Over here he wasn't depending on his logic, he was depending on something that he heard from his rebbes from generations, that you check the animal from the inside, not from the outside. Okay, fine. Ask the Gemara, how is he allowed to buy the meat from the owner of the animal? People are going to say, you know, he passed in that it's kosher because he wanted the meat. The Tanya, Donas Hadin, if a dayan made a psak halacha, zika v'chiev, he said this guy is okay, he doesn't have to pay, this guy has to pay. This is Tommy, this is Tar, also this is mutter v'chinayim. And also witnesses, kulon, rishayin, likach, they're all permitted to take from whatever they spoke about. You should stay away from this discussingness in Menadoimaloi. Rabbi said, I heard a crazy story on Erev Shabbos. Benny showed me this thing from Meir Eliyahu, Reb Meir Eliyahu, famous speaker, Big Balkishrin, and he says it's a gross story. It's going to gross you all out. A guy in Tveria found an unbelievable house. Did he say it was on the water? So like a mansion, beautiful house. And he knew that the owner was in a little bit of a pickle. So he went and negotiated a crazy deal with the owner. He got the guy to come down 50%. He's super excited. He goes to the Rav. And the Rav explains to him that he can't buy the house. It's not for him. It's partially not for him. It's in the wrong neighbor, the whole thing. Don't buy it. Not for you. He's very depressed. But what are you going to do? You have to listen to the Rav. See. A month and a half later, he walks by the house, he's telling his wife, he sees the Rav walking out of the house. So he goes up to the Rav. He says, what are you doing? He says, listen, I explained to you, the house is not for you, but the house is for me. That's menakir, and he finishes off that the guy went off the derech. Now, I know my neighbor over here on this block went off the derech when his Rav was caught doing disgusting things, and the famous story is put in jail, that Rav, famous guy from Yerushalayim, not going to go into his name, but he went off the derech. You can't, I'm saying, if you're holding like that your whole Yiddishkeit is dependent on one human being, and human beings do some crazy stuff sometimes, it's a chaval.
Yeah.
Okay? Find another Rav and move on. But okay. Huh? Zog the Gemara. If you're Rebbe, no, sometimes the person says, my father did this and this, I'm going, okay.
How many guys stop learning Gemara because of their Rav? Right, I'm saying.
Yeah. Oh, the Rebbeim in Cheder. Yeah? Yeah. Okay, stop learning Gemara is different than going off the derech. But yeah, 100%. I know one or two of those kind of people.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, let me rephrase. I know one or two people in this year that it didn't happen to them.
One or two.
Yeah, that didn't happen. Okay, get over I don't know what they are, but they're here. Zog the Gemara. Exactly. Judaism perfect, Jews aren't. That's cure. Don't do something silly that people are going to say to you. Oh, the reason why I said this meat is kosher is because you got a great deal on the meat afterwards. That's only something that goes by evaluation, by assessment. Everybody knows the price of the meat. Everybody knows that it's a certain weight. And you pay. How much do you pay for a steak here in Israel per kilo? $250. 250 shekel. I said yesterday and the other day in Shir. Everybody knows. So the Rav is paying for a kilo 250. So nobody thinks he got a good deal. Rava said that this treifa, they came to him, they thought it's a treifa. He said, no, it's not a treifa, you can buy from it. Ormele Bas Rav Chizda. The daughter of Chizda tells Rava. Who's the daughter of Chizda, Rabbis? Everybody knows this. Who's the daughter of Rav Chizda? Rava's wife. How do I know it's Rava's wife? Because the famous story that Rav Chizda had his daughter on his lap. She was a little girl. And she said, I want to marry those two people, Rami Bar Chama and Rava. Rava heard it. He said, I want to be second. So first she married Rava Bar Chama and he died. And then she married Rava. That's what's going on. And the Gemara calls her Bas Rav Chizda. So obviously if you're going to marry Rav Chizda's daughter, you better know your stuff because she's a little bit of a Talmid Chachama. And she says, wait a minute. How did you purchase that meat that you just said it's kosher? Abba Shari Bukhra, my father once allowed a Bukhar. Now, in the time of Rav Chizda, there's no Beis HaMikdash then, he was an Amoira. So, when you have a firstborn, you give it to the Kohen, what happens? You can't bring it to the Beis HaMikdash. What do? You let it roam around until it befalls a mum, and then you can eat it. So now it's always a thing. New rabbi, is this a mum? No, go back, come back tomorrow. Is this a mum? So he said, this is a mum. This is a mum. But he wouldn't eat from it because he allowed this bukhar to be shachted. Amar Law, he says, my wife, my dear wife, it's a very good question you're asking, but let me explain to you the difference. Hani mili bukhra, that is a bukhar, that shumim is daben. There's a famous halacha when it comes to bukhar, when it comes to a firstborn, even after it has a mum, you're not allowed to weigh it. You're not allowed to sell it in a marketplace. You have to treat it with respect. What's haste respect? You don't put it on a scale. So you look at it, this looks like 2 pounds to me. This looks like a pound. Here, give me 250 shekel because it looks like a pound. She says, that's why, that's going back to that you can't know for certain that he paid the right price. So people are going to accuse the rabbi of doing the wrong thing. But over here, I, Rava, always buy by weight. Nobody's going to accuse me of getting a better deal. Elamai, my dear wife, I know what you're going to say. Mishum because he gave me the top. Huh? Oh, Ma'ika. Mishum I didn't say Ma'ika. I was looking at those two words. Huh? If Penny's stepping in, we're going to let him have it. We'll give him this one. Mishum I'm very upset at the Bakar today. Your son-in-law. He messed up. You better speak to him. He went the whole parish without making a single mistake. Usually he gives me a hana, like one. He gives me that one. He does it on purpose during Shvi. It's always in Shvi. He pretends he made a mistake. Nothing. Penny, that was for you. Enjoy it while it lasts. Hachem is the mitzvah. Hachem is dagal muchach. Ma'ika. So what are you going to say? Mishum umtzim al yisa. What are you going to say? Because he gave me the top, that 1 pound that nobody could get, only in that one animal. Kol yom umtzim al yisa zavnu. You should know wherever I go, they always give me 1 pound. So the Gemara in Brachas Daf Mem says Rav always used to send somebody to buy him every single. Listen to this, but I thought it's interesting. Kol yom umtzim al yisa zavnu. Rava, the Amar used to eat meat every single day. But to answer it, because the Gemara in Brachas says that he would actually send for the neck, and we also learned just the other day that if you eat from the Mokum Shechita, it's zgula to what? Healthy, yeah. We have a big time of Chacham, you know. He knows Gemara's Baal Pen stuff. It's a little scary. Fine. So should we stop here because it's Motzei Shabbos? We'll stop over here. Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful week. Yishkoyach.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDaf.com.